the cavalry.
Well, there would have been three. There would have been three battles.
3 battles?
So there would have been.
You're
Yeah. So there
talking about the
was.
last one, the end of the movie? No, I'm not mentioning that one.
Well, yeah. I mean that's important to mention just because that's like the deciding battle. But the first one would have been the Battle of Stirling Bridge, and then the second one I think is the Battle of Falkirk, and then the last one is the Battle of oh no Bannockburn. That's it.
So,
So the Battle of
oh,
Stirling
okay, I
Bridge is
can't
when they
remember,
win.
but the battle I'm
Yeah,
talking about, I think it was the battle where they lost, where
that's the Battle of Falkirk because that's the second one,
no,
the second battle.
uh, which was Bannockburn, the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not talking about that one. I mean, when I say battle, I meant like the full battle is shown. Because Bannockburn ends before he even goes into battle. Robert the Bruce, right? He just throws the sword. Or one of his guys throws a sword. So I'm talking about Falkirk, right, where they lose. So there's the part where the English bring in the Irish, right? He ships in the Irish army, and then he's like, Edward Longshank's like, oh, just send in the Irish. They're just like riffraff or whatever. And they charge at Wallace, and then they just start shaking hands.
But that's appealing to a kind of modern day
So I'm talking about inaccuracies right now.
camaraderie. Yeah, of course.
But it's just,
I mean, it would have been accurate that
they had a
the
deal,
English
yeah, the
king.
secret deal behind the scenes, but they did like I don't know if they
I don't
did.
know.
You know.
No. Well, no, I was going to say. I mean, it would have been accurate that the English king at the time would have had
Irish troops, yeah,
mercenaries
yes,
from
yes,
Ireland, Wales, but I think, I mean, what that plays into more is this bigger issue of the film. So it's not just the film. I mean, it's complicated. But basically, the film is playing into this idea that those series of battles were like defining battles in the nation of
hmm,
Scotland's development
right.
into the modern day nation of Scotland. And at the time, it wouldn't have been understood that way, really. I mean, the idea of the nation probably, as a kind of concrete idea in people's heads, probably begins in the late medieval period, I guess. Um, I mean, this would have been the High Middle Ages, I believe. So there may have been an inkling towards thinking of pride in your country. But anyway, but the point I'm making is primarily would have been understood as a kind of ruthless game between the nobility rather than
Right.
like a conflict between two distinct nations. And but obviously the film didn't start that idea. I mean, this obviously dates back to the kind of 19th century when they started, sort of romanticizing these medieval figures
Um,
um, in British history, Scottish history.
could I ask, in historically speaking, did Robert the Bruce actually betray him
I believe so.
to
Yeah,
get a
no,
position of power in Scotland, basically?
but this is what I think the film does wrong because the film is portraying it as being like, oh, it's the good or the good Scots against the evil English. I mean, obviously that's one
Right,
thing,
right,
but
right, right.
also like this idea of it is English versus Scots, and obviously you've got William Wallace like killing the betrayers,
Mm.
those who betray him,
Oh, right, right. Oh,
the
yeah, you're
Scottish
getting the
Lord. Yeah,
vengeance part. Right, 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 right.
but I mean, the fact is that Robert the Bruce did the exact same, betrayed him,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't like he was tricked into it or like they were competing families, like they wouldn't have cared about each other,
Ah,
but because of the sake of like,
movie.
oh, it's Scotland, yeah, we need to make all the good Scottish heroes, the ones that win in the end, they all have to be
And do you
friends
remember
basically.
the
It's what
sword
they're for.
swaying at the end?
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Cinematic.
Very romantic, yeah.
um,
um
yeah,
I mean,
right. I
also
remember that.
things like that the whole showing butts, which you
Oh, yeah.
referred to earlier.
Did that happen?
I mean, the whole. Yeah, I mean, it's quite likely, but I mean, taunting your enemy
Mm-hmm.
was a big thing. I mean, a lot of people maybe aren't aware that what would happen. You'd have like with a battle, you'd have like a kind of a pre-battle where you'd have like people
Parlay.
jeering and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
shouting and like throwing stones or whatever. So it's quite likely that would have happened. But I think what's interesting is how the battles themselves are not portrayed as they were at all. I mean, the Battle of Stirling
Oh, I'm
Bridge,
sure.
for
Yeah.
example, it was literally on around a bridge.
Right, right.
And whilst it is true that the Scots were using poles to defeat the English, it wasn't like, oh, let's keep them on the ground and hide them. And then, the English cavalry just aren't going to see them. And then, right at the last minute, we hold them up and then
He
kill
says,
them. It
hold.
didn't quite happen like that. Yeah.
It's like they don't know where we have it. Yeah.